Countdown time, Polymer Latino Slant. We have an incredible show, incredible guest. Kamran Pasha, Maria with T and Telly. They're here, they're hanging out. I love these people. We have some incredible topics to go over, guys. Slant, keeping it real all the way. 4 minutes to go until I bring them in. All right? What's going on? Well, we have some great topics, but before we get to the topics, I want to remind you guys, sign up now, thelatinoslant.com for our newsletter. There I am right there last night with my Wolverine thing. One of the topics, the long game, is going to be toppling Beverly Hills Cop. That's the topic right there. Go to thelatinoslant.com, sign up right now for our newsletter. Once a week, I write to you guys and show you all kinds of stuff that we've been doing on the website. One of the things we've been doing on the website is a daily news slant, and here it is right there. Every day, every morning, we have a news item. Whether it is right now, all the buzz is Deadpool and Wolverine. Also, too, this past weekend, again, I feel Beverly Hills Cop promotes negative Latino stereotypes. We talk about it. Selena, Shoguns, Carvajal got an Emmy nom. Stuff like that on the website right now. Okay, I'll be back in about 20 seconds. I mean, this right here. I found this for Kamran. Look at that image. It says it all. We're going to be talking about some Disney dismay happening. The latest there with Ike Perlmutter resigning. Some other news as well. This band, you got to check out this music. Flanguero. One of my favorite musicians right now. Been playing his music every week. Okay, we're almost there. Gonna bring in our guest. We are on live right now, YouTube and X for you guys. Share the link. Let people know we're here. All that good stuff. People are piling in, just piling in. We will say hello to you guys as soon as we can. Got about another minute and a half. I want to remind you guys, if you're a member of the channel, we're going to have a fantastic watch party. Brazilian film City of God, starring Alice Braga and Queen of the South. We're going to be watching those the next couple of weeks with membership panel and Paul Chato. That's right. When I think of Brazil, I think of Paul Chato. Hey, he was like, let's go Brazil. I'm like, dude, I got some stuff for you. Speaking of, Maurara, making history. The Mexicana got an Emmy nomination, and why it's a little controversial. And we will be talking about that as well. We have seconds away. I'm going to be back in 30 seconds with my friends. Please say hello to everyone in the chat. Also, too, vote now. At the end of the show, we're doing the Deadpool Wolverine one spoiler review. We're back. Polly here on the Latino Slant. ¿Qué pasó, mi gente? What's happening? Nothing's happened, right? There's nothing that happened this past weekend. All right, before I bring my friends in, we have some great coverage of Deadpool Wolverine that's happening on our channels. I got the popcorn bucket. That was a lot of fun. But I want to do a giveaway. Twisters was a great film that just came out this past weekend. I have a t-shirt and a hat to give you guys. Here's the t-shirt. Not my first tornado. This was from the screening last week. Not my first tornado. This is a large size right there. That's a large size. If you feel it, chase it. I said if you feel it, chase it. Love Glenn Powell. And then part of the Twister package there, you get the t-shirt and you get this beautiful hat. And we have to figure out how we're going to give this away, Fletcher, as far as who should be getting this. What do you think, really quickly?
Yeah, that'll be great. I mean, those are some awesome things right there. If you guys saw the movie,
very nice.
They are super cool.
Yeah, I know you loved it.
Yeah. I went with my wife and
great review.
Yeah, we really had a good time. One of her things she loved. It was like, it's funny because the t-shirt part came on. It's like, oh my gosh, I have to have a t-shirt and all stuff. And it's like, oh, you really have to have a t-shirt. I mean, They really play on anything they do little. It does play on, so it's great.
How did I get these goodies? I was part of the media, so the media got these goodies. And I want to give them out. I don't want to keep them. That's my little way of giving thanks to you guys. So we got to figure out, should it just be for the members, or we got to figure that out. But let me know what you think, Fletcher. But right now, let's bring in our friends. What do you say, Fletcher? We've been talking.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. He's the man. He's the legend. He's my hombre, Kamran Pasha. Hey.
Damn.
Hola, hermanos. How's everyone doing?
Fuerte now. We're strong now. You're here. Más fuerte, hombre.
I'm just floating on the air after watching Twisters, which I had a great time on. So it was the best time I've had since a Fall Guy, which I think was the best time I had in a long time. So yeah.
I saw that you liked it, man. Let's bring in our other beautiful guest here, and then we can talk some Twisters. Oh, I'm gonna let you do it, Fletcher. My bad. Maria with tea and Telly.
And she's got the cowboy hat in honor of Twisters. It's great.
But Maria, you're muted. So unmute yourself.
I'm gonna mute myself here. Sorry, I'm just fanning myself. I'm fanning myself.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Whoa,
look at that book.
Fanning myself with. Oh, look, it's a poly book.
Yeah,
what?
That's my novella.
I don't think I've seen this book before. Yeah.
You turn it around and you see Cameron's name on the back. Muy especial.
I was finding myself a little hot.
Oh, ooh la la, ooh la la. Good to have you here, Maria. Good to have you.
Thanks for having me.
You know what's funny? I got my first royalty check from sales of the novella. $22.40. Woo!
Yeah,
That's great. Good for you. Good for you. That's great.
That was dope, man. I mean, the thing costs $9.99, and they take their cut. That means people are buying it. I'm happy, man.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell us about Twisters. Why did you like it so much, Kamran?
Well, I went in, really skeptical because, I love the first movie, and I thought, here's another example of the Hollywood just trying to make money off of a long gone movie that they're just gonna, do half butt effort of doing it. And I have to admit, I think this is better than the first one in many ways, right? I think first one's always been a classic movie, but I think they improved the storyline, the chemistry between the actors, Glenn Powell and Daisy Edgar Jones. I mean, it just like burns off the screen, and it was wildly entertaining. I was pulled in, and what was also interesting, it's very respectful of Americana. Right, it's very much set in sort of the red state Midwest, right, and very respectful of people's lifestyles and their humanity, and and there's no political messaging really, and so it's something that's very universal, and it shook up Hollywood here. I wrote on my Patreon that the success, because it did 62% higher than projected. 62% higher than projected for opening weekend. It was projected at $50 million. It came in at 81 million or something like that, right? For the weekend. That's insane. That's nearly
Amazing.
double. And clearly, you know, people responded to it, but people in Hollywood are saying they're calling it the Red State movie for the fact that it shows the Midwest and normal Americans in an honorable way, like we used to in films in America. And also because it appears that worked for the audience, that it's audiences in the quote unquote flyover states that are rushing to make this movie, that are the ones that pushed it so high, right? And so there's a lesson. And especially at the current moment, and we don't need to get into politics, but just the current moment of things right now, Hollywood is back in political mode, at least in internal conversations. And there's a lot of disrespect towards 50% of the country right now in the industry. I'm seeing in my conversations. And yet at the same time, they're saying that's where the money is. So that's a really important balancing thing.
Oh, Cameron, but you make too much sense. You're what? Don't alienate half your audience, Maria. I mean, that is just business 101. It's like, don't F with your fans. You know, Maria, speaking with your cowboy hat, I saw the stars of the movie Twisters, Glenn Powell, Daisy Edgar Jones, and Anthony Ramos. They went to a country concert this past weekend. I don't know who it was, but they went on stage. It was a huge stadium filled with people, maybe like a Luke Combs or something. I mean, some big, like maybe his song is in the movie because the soundtrack had a lot of country songs. So, Maria, you ever get a beer and punch it on the side and chug it?
No.
That's what they did in front of this audience. The actors with like the Luke Combs guy, they flipped out. That's how you entertain, Cameron. Yeah. That's how you entertain, Maria.
Yeah.
Well, okay, they connected again with their audience.
Right.
They went and, you know, embraced cultural expression that their audience would enjoy. Right? That's what you do as an entertainer.
I mean, I like when we don't get forgotten. And I think that's what they should come back to. I just got what you said.
I like when we don't get forgotten.
When we don't get forgotten. I mean,
love it.
It's just kind of like, how to succeed 101. You don't forget your audience.
No, and I think we're gonna. It's really important because we're gonna kind of challenge you guys a little bit in the chat. In not trying to change minds or any of that stuff. But probably you're going to feel a little uncomfortable in talking about some of the subjects coming up. But you gotta. The only thing I want you guys to understand is where I'm coming from as a creative, as a person that grew up in theater. That theater's always been such a welcoming place, Cameron, for freaks and geeks.
Yeah, since the beginning. I mean, it's all. Look, all artists are crazy. I'm an artist. I'm crazy. We're all people that don't fit into society. That's why we're artists. And there's a range of how not to fit into society. And some of it's really on the edge for a lot of people. But the question is, are they doing good art? Yeah.
Okay. Over 60 people joining us. They're coming in, guys. They're coming in. Before we get to our first topic, Fletcher, let's bring up and comment really fast on some of the starred comments that you got. Okay. We're here with Maria and Cameron. Thank you guys so much. We love super chats. We love PayPal. We love all that good stuff because it keeps the lights on. Daniel Larson. Hey, Polly. Welcome to the second episode of ¿Qué Pasha? Nice. I'm so excited. So am I. ¿Qué Bonzo? Hey, what's going on? All right, Doctor. Oh, I'm not going to go there. Stay tuned for a political show after this show. It's Courtney Fellowship of Oddballs. She's a member of the channel. We love you so much. I don't know what you got to say. Hey, Fletcher. Hey, chat peeps. Much love. Much love, girl. Just another red shirt. ¿Qué pasó? ¿Cómo estás? Okay, let's read this one here. I got your novella, Extra Goodies, finally. My address changed. Took longer than expected, so it was forwarded. Oh, thank you. Thank you, and buy Polly's book. Hey, yeah, it's only $9.99, guys. It's only $9.99. But thank you, Courtney, and thank you to all the Slantinos. I mean, I think we're like, we're up to almost a couple of hundred sales. It's pretty amazing, man. That's including the initial backing of the story. Okay, what else do we got? Good evening. Good evening. ¿Qué más? Hey, what's up, PJ? Hey, Polly and Grins. Nadia, I hope you're feeling better. I know she got really sick. Much love, healing energy to you. Is that a popcorn bucket with a hat? Okay, that was Fletcher. Here's what happened. Fletcher's like, why don't you put one of your hats on there? That's what I did. So here's the thing with this popcorn bucket, right? They gave it to us and they're like, you can get your popcorn. But I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. Like, I didn't like the feeling. It's like rubber. I don't want it. Yeah, you guys can clip this later.
Gotta have to clip that, yeah.
Yeah, it's like rubber, and I'm trying to get, Cameron, I'm trying to eat my popcorn and drink. It's not going to work. So I just.
Is that leftover movie theater popcorn, or do you like make Orville Redenbachers or something?
No, they were going all out. It was a media access only screening last night.
Okay.
So, but what you can do is put your drink in here.
Oh, okay.
Which was really cool, right? So,
I'll be honest with you, that's kind of like offensive. That design is kind of offensive. It's kind of on the edge there for me, man. I don't know.
We're Mr. Posh on this one. Yeah,
it's a little bit out there for me, even as a crazy artist. It's a little bit out there.
Yeah.
You know what? We all have our limits. We all have the lines that are. Maria, has this line been crossed when someone does that?
It's not working for me.
I would have gone with maybe over the head part.
I know that. Like a pumpkin, they put a candle in a pumpkin. What is this thing?
But what's funny?
Unnecessarily suggestive.
And there is a tongue in here, guys. It's pretty gross.
No.
Look. I think they did it on purpose for this reaction. Whatever.
Well, they did because what it says is designed by Deadpool, and Deadpool's humor is very twisted, of course.
Right.
So there you go.
Okay. Well,
speaking of twisters, Rosa said that me pretending to be a tornado so Glenn Powell can chase me.
I said, if I feel it.
Chase it.
Chase it.
Let's take a moment to say. Let's take a moment to say this. For me to say this. Glenn Powell is the new movie star. He is single-handedly resurrected the old school movie star who's glamorous. He's a good-looking dude. He's the kind of guy that guys like, man, I wish I was like that guy. Women are like, I want to be with this guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's like Clint Eastwood. He's like Cary Grant. He's got that old school, vibe to him that you feel like he would fit into like a 1950s or 40s or 60s classic Hollywood movie star. What was the great blanking on what I'll remember.
Well, he's got great looks.
Yeah.
And
Tyrone Power.
I want
he's a very Tyrone Power.
Like period pieces, like from the 30s of looking all suave,
Yeah.
I loved it when he did
Harold Flynn, like that guy, like he's that guy, right?
The jet pilot movie.
Yeah,
that was the Rocketeer.
No. He did with Jonathan Majors. He actually executive produced
Red
it.
Wings or something like that.
That was a good film.
Yeah.
That was a really good drama.
And he's going to star at the Running Man now, supposedly.
Oh, okay. I mean, all right. But I agree with you, Cameron. He is a throwback. He knows how he's something else. He's something else. He's very likable. I think Rosa was saying it's like, yeah, he's got the looks, he's got the thing, but he's also very vulnerable.
Well, this movie shows it. Like he has the range. Like he's got the cocky bad boy, and then he's like the alpha, responsible guy. Like Maria and I talked about, the Marilyn Monroe's first husband, who was the alpha responsible guy. He's got that vibe, and I was like, this is like the ultimate, romance novel fantasy, because he's the cocky bad boy on the cover that's grabbing the girl and holding her in his arms, but he's also the one that you can bring the sensitivity out of, that will protect her. I mean, this is a romance novel, dude, and it's perfect.
Nice. Okay, any other comments?
Yes, we got one super chat from Orville Nation.
What is he saying? PJ, what are you doing for 5 bolas? Esa vaquera. That means, that cowboy girl. Oh, show. Hold on. Let's go right here. Let's make her live. Oh, show. Oh, esa vaquera.
Well, you got to do the smoking guns.
Well, Ooh, nice, nice. Can you just do that one more time? That's so beautiful. One more time. I like it when you went. Psh, psh. Let's play a little from one vaquera to a vaquero. Here you go. There you go. You like that? You like that?
That was great. That was great. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else on Twisters? Before we go on, I got to tell you, I'm so happy that the director, when he was pressed, why didn't you put climate change in the film? He's like, we're entertaining people. It's kind of already like in the film that, weather's, can be bad, but
yeah, well, whatever. I mean, because that's not the point of the movie. Let's say that that's your narrative, right? Well, how are they going to solve that? How are they going to solve that? You got little Dorothy, little silver things that are going to change the planetary situation. Come on,
Cameron.
But I have one critique because I noticed it and I was like, I felt off to me. So there's a spoiler. Maybe it's a spoiler alert. Spoiler warning. Spoiler alert. Because there's already articles about it now in the trades. Because the directors talk about it. It's a spoiler alert.
Okay.
There's obviously a superb, really nicely built up romance between the two leads. Glenn and Daisy, and they have great chemistry.
Yes.
And then it culminates in a really great like Casablanca moment where it's like
beautiful
you think they're not gonna be together, but then they are together. But then they don't have the kiss, right?
They don't kiss.
And they don't kiss. And I felt it. I felt something was off, right? And then the director came out and started talking about that because look, I love the movie. I'm not going to ding the movie for that, right? It's a creative choice.
Yeah.
But it was interesting. He said, well, we filmed the kiss. Obviously, you're building to that.
Oh, they filmed the kiss.
They filmed it. And
what?
They chose not to use it because the claim is that it was controversial amongst whatever their test audiences were, or that it was polarizing. So I was like, who's polarizing? Are these like people who are lonely and don't want romance? I mean, who's giving this kind of feedback? And my
we have a woman here.
All right, yeah, let's let talk.
I want to hear
the kiss was building to it. The movie's fine without it, but maybe I was like, well, now I want to see a sequel where they get together. Maybe that's what
and Rosa saw it in the. I mean, she's a huge fan. Bésame mucho. Okay, go, Maria.
You feel when you build up all of that and you don't have the kiss, you feel empty without it. I'm sorry.
That's what I felt. Without
it. Even if it might have worked without it, fine, but you just feel like there's just that one empty thing.
And you're right, Maria. And my instinct is, and again, they've avoided politics. But my instinct is that what happened there was they were getting feedback from some 22-year-old, moron who thinks they understand male-female dynamics and is going to revolutionize sexual dynamics with their ideology. Someone said, I feel that if he kisses her, it takes away her power. I was like, what are you talking about? Anybody see Casablanca?
Yeah.
I mean, anybody see Casablanca? I mean, it's their
already been
that makes the movie work. What's wrong with you guys? Here's looking at you, kid. What's wrong with you?
It's also at the end of the film where it's been established that everyone has been saving each other's butt throughout the film. Yeah. I mean, Anthony Ramos comes out of nowhere and saves both of them. Great moment.
And what's also great is that you can tell it's very subtly acted that he's in love with her too.
Oh,
I got it. But it's settled. You're like, he's in love with her. It's a love triangle movie.
I love that. I loved it. That was great. And I'm so glad to see that extra dimension for Anthony's character because he could have just been a nothing role. And I'm so happy that Anthony's role was actually in it a lot.
Yeah.
And he has the most growth of all of them. His character has the most growth. You feel the most compassion for him.
And you know what? Actually, a lot of times when I see a film that leaves those kisses out, it leaves more questions because you actually don't have that closure. You don't know. You don't know if you end up asking more questions. Actually, I do anyway.
So do you all remember this movie, Cinema Paradiso? It's like 30
course.
years old, right? Okay, classic movie. And one of the central ideas of this is about a boy who loves the old movies and the old golden Hollywood.
Can you show that again one more time?
Yeah. If people haven't seen Cinema Paradiso, right? Okay. But the fun of it is that he's in a country and in a time period where kisses are being censored, right? And that's the fun of it, is that he's trying to get around that, right? Because everyone wants to see the kiss. Even in the 50s and the 40s, everyone wants to see the kiss, right? And the censors like, that's inappropriate, right? And so it's the whole, I won't reveal it, but they found a beautiful resolution in this movie, which culminates in solving that issue, right? But it's all about this epic movie is all about they're cutting the kisses out of the movie.
Beautiful film. Highly recommend it. Cinema Paradiso for lovers of cinema, lovers of love, of just like this kind of just a forgotten age, like it just that era. But was it pre World War II? Was it pre Benito, or was it after World War II?
It's I don't recall the
Great movie, fantastic movie, guys. Yep. Okay, what do we got, Fletcher?
All right. So Rosa did ask a question. She says the new generation isn't as affectionate or intimate as us older generation. Hey, wait a minute. If they are an audience being tested, then it makes sense why they would give that feedback.
Yeah, I mean, look, I want to answer to that, Rosa. And Rosa, I've hung out with. She's a brilliant person, scholar. She's a scholar. She's an intellectual, right? And I think
and the mother.
Point. You've raised a very, very fair point here. You're correct. I think that's where they got the feedback from. That was polarizing to, like I said, 22-year-old kids. Because I'm talking to a friend of mine. I went to school with him. Now he's got kids who are like 10, 11, 12, 13, beginning approaching teenage, right? But he's got his 10, and I'm going to say some controversial stuff here. Forgive me, but he's got a 10-year-old. His 10-year-old. He's like, what do my 10-year-old kids saying he's asexual? I'm like, yeah, because he's 10 years old. Where did he learn this term? Who taught him this term? It's his teachers teaching him, this thing. And, it's like, what does that mean when you're 10? It doesn't mean anything, but someone has taught him this phrase in school, probably a teacher. And so these kids are being raised, in my opinion, in a generation where teachers are presenting some unusual ideas about human sexuality to children that we're not used to teaching them. And as a result, I think we're going to be in a weird place for this generation where they ain't going to reproduce. And that's because I don't know that their attitudes are natural historical developments. I think these are being coached. And I think that's problematic.
Is it that they're not affectionate, or is it that they're afraid to be affectionate because of the way everybody is nowadays?
That's all part of it. We're at a very bizarre cultural thing. If I kiss her, am I going to be accused of like crossing a line, right? We're going back to a Puritanism that isn't coming from religious fundamentalism. It's coming from other kinds of fundamentalism, right?
If I the popcorn bucket, am I going to be accused of something? Yeah, I know.
Yeah, well, they're getting ready for Hollywood. But the thing is, funny things, Hollywood's kind of past that already. Hollywood's back like this. Hollywood is this why this was so unusual, because Hollywood is like we had kisses and passion and Top Gun and whatever. So why are we doing this here? And I don't know that if kids are saying that, I don't know. I think maybe we should be giving them a passionate kiss to wake them up out of it, to make them feel alive. Make them feel alive. Come on. If you're getting feedback from a 20-year-old kid, don't know nothing about nothing. Give them something to think about.
And you guys will have to make clear that a lot of the times I ask these questions because I grew up in the 80s where things were much different. And did I just say that? Did I just reveal my age? And
you're ageless. And also, you're ageless.
You went back in time to the 80s.
And also because I have no children. I've never had children. And so I don't know what it's like nowadays in, what it is for younger generations. So when I ask these questions, I ask out of curiosity. Tell me what you actually deal with.
We're losing your voice, Maria. Is your voice getting muffled?
It's a bit of like a muffled mic or something.
Is it muffled?
Now it's back. Now it's like maybe you had covered your mic, but
that or that. Well, it's up here, I think.
That's all right.
That or my voice is getting scratchy because after a while it does get scratchy. No, I hope you heard me. What I was saying was that when I ask out of curiosity because I don't know. I've never had children. I asked somebody the other day out of curiosity, what it's like, because I don't know. So when I ask, I just know that it is out of not understanding.
Okay. All right.
All right.
No, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. We got to move on. We still haven't hit our first of 3 topics with you guys.
Because you guys
Fletcher,
are so
what do you
much
got,
fun.
man?
For first, we got James Carroll. Thank you for subscribing. He just became a subscriber.
Orale.
And we also got Orville Nation coming in. Boom, boom, boom. $5 more. Question for the panel: are we getting several Secret Service themed films in 2025 now?
Whoa. Well, Cameron, I'll leave it to you, the Hollywood man.
Boom, boom.
Wait, I'm trying to understand this. What is Secret Service themed films? It's interesting because I want to be careful. I would say this because of political stuff. Because of the recent events that happened, I saw a lot of very ugly conversation among screenwriters. This current election is very polarizing. The gentleman involved is extremely, extremely polarizing for my colleagues. I've got my issues with him, but it doesn't polarize me. I can critique someone without losing my mind. Right? They lost their mind the last time he was around. They're losing their mind again. So when this event happened, I actually went into one of these chat boards because people were saying some really, really ugly things about like, I wish, dang it, that guy missed, right? That kind of stuff, right? And really stupid stuff, unhealthy stuff, and poisoning the discourse. And I just went in and I made a comment to try to maybe get people back to a rational place, saying, well, setting everything else aside, I would like to think we should at least honor the Secret Service people who are, they're putting their lives on the line. They may not even like this person. Often the Secret Service people don't like this person. I read a lot of stories by Secret Service people that protected Jack Kennedy and hated him because he would make them get involved in his sexual trysts. Like they had to, like physically, like they'd have to help him out with stuff, right? And they didn't want to be doing that, and they hated him. But maybe they didn't do as good a job as they could have, for him. But nonetheless, in theory, they were supposed to be protecting him, right? And you would think that you look on that stage. Those Secret Service agents who jumped on the candidate, they're putting, as far as they're aware, they're putting themselves in the line of fire, like Clint Eastwood in that movie, right? As far as they know, more shots are coming. They're going to die for this guy, whether they like him or not. So that's quite heroic. And so I said that calmed people down for about 30 seconds and went right back to, I wish they'd killed him, right? So it's going to be interesting. I think whether there's Secret Service team stuff, it's all about who is the president next year, right? It's because if this gentleman is elected, I don't think they're going to be doing movies about protecting presidents. I just don't think they will. And so based on the ugliness that I've witnessed, so it's all going to be about who's president.
Well, thank you so much.
The Line of Fire remake.
Yeah, but it will be if the
I'm
other.
just trying to keep it light. I'm just trying to.
I'm just saying, if the other person's elected, that we'll see in the Line of Fire.
We'll see how it goes. All right, thank you so much, PJ, and thank you guys for any future super chats. Wink, wink. What else, Fletch?
All right, so now we're gonna talk about how awesome a favorite film of yours is doing.
Oh yeah, let's bring it up. This is a great op-ed, and I shared it with Maria and with Cameron the other couple days ago. This came out by full disclosure. Jeff Valdez was one of the first guys that hired me when I was a kid in my 20s. He gave me my first PA job. I was a PA for a production assistant for his comedy productions for Showtime at the time, and it opened so many doors for me. It was just, great insight. And Jeff has always been just really about, walking the walk. And this is a great guest column. He brings up a lot of wonderful points here. What happened is that this film dethroned, unseated very fast Beverly Hills Cop Axel F from #1 slot on Netflix in the U.S. It's a period piece starring Jay Hernandez, Cheech Marin, and Dennis Quaid. It was independently produced. It was independently distributed, which really never happens. And it's about Mexican Americans and golf. It's an underdog story. Yeah. He was saying here the headline he would have liked to have written, Jeff writes, is small budget PG period indie film with U.S. Latinos portrayed as heroines dethrones $150 million film franchise, Cameron. Yes, it's a bit long, but hopefully you get my point. Any thoughts yet, Cameron?
Well, I mean, I think this is just more signaling to the industry that, as I've said on this channel so many times, Latinos are the future of the industry. They're the futures of the audience, and eventually they'll become the future of the. We're already moving towards the future of the cast. You know, Melissa Barrera opened up so many horror things. It's now, now they figure out Latinos are the horror stuff, and so that's going to start affecting cast. It's going to start affecting crew, and that's a good thing. And for anyone who thinks like, well, it should all be just. I've had people actually argue with me about saying that, literally saying, we shouldn't take into account the fact that Latinos are the largest single group watching horror movies. We shouldn't be casting Latinos. I was like, because they should just watch anybody. I was like, that sounds like you don't really understand human nature. It sounds like it's not even a political issue. It sounds like you don't understand human nature. If a particular ethnic group has become the largest segment watching a particular genre, it is quite natural to give them people they identify with. That's not about politics. It's not right-wing. It's not left-wing. It's human business, because you think, if black people are watching this kind of comedy, maybe have black people in it, right? I mean, it's not complicated, but people in the fandom take everything quite seriously. So this is to me a wonderful sign of where things are going.
Before I get to this next point that he makes in our column, what did you think about this column, Maria? Any thoughts yet?
You know what? I really, I thought it was great. And first of all, I have to say, Polly, you're gonna make me get Netflix, because I had canceled it because I was so mad about the increase. I was like, God dang it, I've been a customer forever, and then I was like, I'm gonna cancel and make my point, and then you keep bringing up movies that are on there, and I'm like, God dang it, I'm gonna have to get it again. So I'm gonna have to get it again, because I saw this trailer and I was like, man, this looks so good, and I was rather impressed with it, and it's something that I'm definitely gonna watch. And after I've read this, it was a great read. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing this. Very, very good read on this one.
Let's scroll on down. I want to get to for perspective. Beverly Hills Cop Axel F starring Eddie Murphy had approximately 30 times the budget of The Long Game, which unseated Axel F only 2 days after it was offered on the Netflix carousel on July 13th. Axel F was also R-rated. There were a lot of guns, car chases, and explosions. Most of the black characters in the film were police officers, lawyers, and wealthy people who liked to shop, which is a good thing. The Latino characters, however, were narcos with tattoo faces and automatic weapons shooting up Beverly Hills, as well as prostitutes, drug smugglers, and cocaine dealers.
Well, that's a choice. That says a lot. That's a choice, right?
That's a choice, Cameron. What are your thoughts on that? I think the argument Valdez is starting to make is that, you have this huge film with huge budget, huge everything, and yet a story set in modern day LA, and this is how you portray Latinos, and then you have this little film.
Yeah.
Little film.
Can I tell you why?
Where
do you want to take it? Because I have an angle. Do you want to take it first?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So, and I've said this on this channel before. I've also said the dark side of what I just talked about, which is the Latinos of the future, is that Hollywood is scared of them. The reason it's scared of them is because of Melissa Barrera and others who started making political comments in the last few months that Hollywood was afraid of with regard to the Middle East, because we talked about that Latinos are quite independent thinking on their politics. Often and Hollywood is slowly waking up to the fact that Latinos tend to be more socially conservative than perhaps other minorities are, and so, or at least as they perceive them to be. And as a result of that, Hollywood is now suddenly becoming nervous that, can we control these people? So I've said for some time that one of the reactions to the rise of the Latino audience and the Latino stars is going to be an effort to put them in a box of degradation. It's the uppity guy. The African American community went through the uppity. You got to control the uppity person, right? You got to control them, and it's a way to put them back, right? A lot of 70s blaxploitation movies dealt with the issue. They were a response to uppityness, right? And so, Bruce Lee was uppity because he was so, pioneering, that they humiliated him and forced him out of this country. They forced him out of this country. right? To this day, that I've talked about it. I wrote about my Patreon on my Facebook, talked about how Bruce Lee, I met Shannon Lee yesterday, his daughter. She was doing a book signing here, and I talked to her. I told her about how I had been, only a few years ago, I've been invited to speak at a studio, or not invited to come pitch a studio with a take that they were going to use the new, AI technology, face technology, to bring back Bruce Lee and do a buddy comedy with Will Smith. So I came up with an incredible pitch that I'm very proud of, which incorporated Bruce Lee's philosophy. If Bruce Lee was still alive and he came back, trying to bring in his philosophy and mysticism that was very core to who he was, and guiding that as the mythology of the movie. How does Bruce Lee come back in this world, right? And I pitched it, and they just stopped me halfway through the pitch and said, "We're not interested in that. That's too serious. We want to do a buddy comedy with Bruce Lee." Basically, to them, Bruce Lee's just Jackie Chan. They think he's just gonna, they'll be Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker. That's what they thought they were doing, right? With the, Bruce Lee. And I said, I got angry and I said, "Do you have any idea that Bruce Lee is considered a spiritual figure? He's considered a spiritual teacher by the world. He's not. I mean, you want him to go back to Cato? You want to go back to Cato, right? The comedic foil, right? I mean, this is so idiotic." And I got angry, and I basically was kicked out of the office, right? Because I got angry and I said, "You're going to get fired if you go down this path." I literally said to the guy, "You're going to get fired. You're going to bring the disaster on the studio." He couldn't believe I said that. He's a studio executive. He turned red in the face. He said, "Well, I think this meeting's over. You can leave." And I did. I never was invited back. I'm sure my agents weren't happy about that, but whatever. And so, but that is an example of uppityness. They're still hung up on Bruce Lee. They're so threatened by him, and this dude's been gone for 40 years. They're still threatened by him. That's why he was mistreated in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, in my opinion. And so now the Latinos are a threat. On one level, they want to make money on them. On another level, because look at the choice they made. They decided this is an actual choice. We want the black community because we think they want Axel. They want Eddie Murphy. And it's the black people and the white people that love Eddie Murphy. And that's before the Latinos were dominant. So we're going to make the Latinos bad. But this is an ethnic choice. You could have Latino bad guys. You could have white bad guys. You can have Asian bad guys. One of my favorite dumb movies that's great is Snakes on a Plane. Remember Snakes on a Plane? And who was the villain in that movie? He was like some random Chinese dude, right? But he was perfect. Yeah. He was like some random Chinese guy. He was perfect at it. You can have any villain, but when all the villains are Latino, it's because they're making an ethnic thing. We want black people to watch this, we want white people to watch this, and we want them to see this group as their adversary. Because this group, they can't co-opt politically. That's what I think happened here.
Maria, I want to hit this. I want to hit another paragraph, and I want to hear from you, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Valdez goes on to say in the very next paragraph, on the other hand, in the long game, what American audiences saw were themes of family, unity, struggle, and Latino people overcoming horrible racist treatment, yet still winning the day. There were no giant explosions or senseless beatings. There were no tired old stereotypes. It would not surprise me to learn that the viewing audience wasn't just Latinos, but families of all types, people who love golf, and a broad older demo that wanted a feel-good story where the planet doesn't end with the traditional excruciating 15 minutes of fiery explosions or zombie apocalypse, Maria. What a novel concept.
Right. Isn't that surprising? What I was gonna say after Cameron is, what I'm wondering is if they see us then as the heroes, the superheroes, and the people that are coming up. They're gonna be wondering who could we have next as our bad guys? Who do we have next as the rosas in the kitchen pushing the brooms and the tattoo people? They won't have. You know how they. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, who is their next rosa? And
they're trapped. Like, oh, Maria, you're right. They're trapped. Who are they going to do? Are they going to make? Who are the people taking those jobs right now? African immigrants? Are they going to do that? Are they going to do that? I mean, they're trapped by their own racial politics, right? What are they going to do?
Exactly. They like, oh my gosh, what race do we go to now with this rise of the Latinos?
Well, I'll tell you who they're going to go to.
Let's
again,
go to the last.
They'll just go back to Muslims. We will be the bad guys again. Muslims have always been they'll just go back to that. I mean, and we will remain an adversary. The conundrum they're going to face is this. Let's say Mr. Trump wins. It's exactly what happens every time a Republican's president. I witnessed it during Bush for 8 years. I witnessed it during Trump for 4. Whenever Trump wins, Muslims are pulled out. I am a Muslim. Muslims are pulled out by the industry for virtue signaling. Remember during Trump, everyone had the woman in the hijab poster as resist, right? Right. The moment Biden's elected, people are burning hijabs because hijab is oppressive, right? And so same thing when Bush is elected. I got my sleeper cell show on the air. Muslim FBI agent fighting terrorists. Moment Obama's elected, all the Muslim terrorists are back. Homeland tyrant. That was 8 years of that, right? And so if Trump gets elected, right now they're really angry with Muslims because of what's happening in the Middle East. But if Trump's get elected, they're like, crap, we gotta use them to virtue signal, and we don't really like them, and they're trapped. They don't know what to do.
Well, what I'm hoping comes from all of this is that they do see that we actually have the same values, the same family values, that we all, want the same thing for our family, that we all want them to succeed in their education, that we love our families and everything like that, that we're not that stereotypical thing, That's what I hope for in all of this, because I'm so tired of that stereotypical thing that we don't all walk around with the tattoos and this and that and the other.
Yeah, that's not common. I'm here in LA. I don't see those people very commonly. The people I'm seeing with tattoos on their faces look like random 20-year-old white criminals that are on that just got released from prison, right? That's what I'm seeing here. They're all on fentanyl. They're kind of scaring me, right?
Let's read that final paragraph. I want to read that final paragraph and hear from you guys, and we'll close this one up. Bottom line, Jeff Valdez writes, Hollywood needs to study these numbers and the success of the long game. Making meaningful data-driven investments about reaching the U.S. Latino cohort in English should not be a conversation about DE and I, but instead about P and L.
Well, it should be. And I think the success of Twister with, I don't recall, was her boyfriend at the opening sequence, was he Latino? He certainly didn't feel white. I mean, he was something else, right? I don't recall the actor who played him. But
like a mixed kid, yeah.
But again, we got Ramos as one of the three. I mean, this is a 3-person movie. This is not a 2-person movie, right? It's a love triangle, and so the fact that he really is an emotional center for the movie, they're gonna notice. I'm sure Latinos went to see Twister, right? These guys are gonna notice, and so again, they're in their conundrum. Do you want to make money? Do you want to control these people? And, hopefully some movies are going to be made that they make money, and others are going to be made where they want to try to control.
Okay. Thank you guys so much. Thank you all for being here. Make sure you guys vote in the voting poll, because what's happening is I want to give one spoiler before I leave tonight on Deadpool and Wolverine in a one spoiler review, major spoiler. You guys decide what it is. I don't know who's voting what. That's fine. We'll figure that out. Let's thank PJ for those great super chats, and members and everybody. Much love. We'll be right back.
The low rider is a little higher.
Okay, Fletcher, we're gonna jump the trans. Hey, we gotta jump. Let's get to the Variety article on Marvel ex-chairman Ike Perlmutter reportedly sold his entire Disney stake for nearly $3 billion after unsuccessful board fight. This happened today, correct?
If I read the article correctly, it's been happening over a period of several weeks. It's been announced today for some reason. It's probably culminated or finished today or finished by today. But the timing of the announcement is very interesting, considering the last week has been quite chaotic at Disney. On Monday of last week, it was announced. I don't know how much earlier it happened, but it was announced that Disney was massively hacked by external hackers, and that all these Slack channels, massive, something like a terabyte of data, I don't know how much, a huge amount of data was stolen, and it was real enough that that it was really concerning, like private communications, etc. At the time, I posted on my Patreon because I got contacted by my source inside of Disney, Sparrow, saying that it was much worse than was publicly announced. that essentially heads were rolling in Disney IT because it was probably the biggest breach of security they've ever had. Perhaps greater than the Sony email breach that happened some years ago that toppled Amy Pascal, who was the co-chairman of the studio, one of the most powerful women in Hollywood, one of the most powerful people in Hollywood, and she was out within a few weeks because she had so many embarrassing emails of her making fun of Angelina Jolie and stuff like that, that was released, made her look bad and burned her relationships with people and talent. And so she was done. And so my source was like, no, this is bigger. And the essential implication is that what's been announced, it's just Slack information, which can be damaging. People's just like on WhatsApp, people say a lot of stupid things, right? On Slack, people say a lot of stupid things that can be recorded, right? And so that could, in and of itself, get damaging. But my understanding is it's actually bigger than that, but they haven't revealed the extent of it because it would cause too much panic, right, of the information that's gotten out. But it was enough that my source gave this prediction. It was like on Tuesday or of last week. Monday was when the announcement. Tuesday I heard from Sparrow, and they said, I predict that this is going to cause heads to roll on the executive level at the highest levels. And within 5 months, we will see massive resignations. It wasn't even 5 months. Within less than 5 days, I believe her name is Safra Katz, one of the board members of Disney, resigned unexpectedly with no real good explanation. Just came out of nowhere. So my intuition was, and that was like Thursday or Friday of last week, my intuition was, this is all part of that because everything, the timing, why would this board member was alerted to how bad it really was and the kind of communications that were potentially violated could be released. Maybe they're being held hostage right now. Maybe some of this information has been released. People are going through it, but maybe some of this stuff hasn't come out yet and is being blackmail information. So then on Monday, then what now? A few days after that, today, Tuesday, we hear that Ike Perlmutter, who was the chairman of Marvel, who had supported the proxy fight to remove Iger, sold all of his stock. For $3 billion, I believe he made $1 billion profit off of it. I don't believe in coincidences. I think that he may very well have been selling for some time, but the announcement is what's critical. The announcement, why is it being announced? It was the Wall Street Journal, I believe, put it out there. Why is it being announced now? My instinct is that it is because the media is preparing investors and the audience and the general public for big changes at Disney. So the narrative is increasing, right? One board member resigns, one of the biggest shareholders sells billions of dollars worth of stock, and you're getting it out. It suggests that something really bad is coming. Maybe it's something that maybe Bob Iger can't survive. I don't know, but it feels like this is not normal.
Okay, so it's multi-layered. It's been happening. Last week you got the news in regards to emails, and you speculated that it's going to be heads are going to roll next few months, and it's been maybe the next day or two. You had I forgot her name and I forgot her position, but she resigned as well.
Yeah, that's why I said the Disney. Her name was Katz, right? Disney, Saffron Katz, and it was one of the board members. And they're not replacing her; they're just reducing the size of the board, which says something to me because they don't want anybody else in that inner circle to whatever she found. Maria, you'd like raise your hand.
No, I'm stretching.
Very cat-like, very feline.
In the article, as Marvel chairman, Perlmutter famously fought Marvel Studios chief Feige for over making Black Panther and Captain Marvel on the belief that movies with Black or women lead characters would not be commercially successful until Iger intervened to overrule Perlmutter. Cameron, these guys have duked it out over the years.
Yeah.
So this is some ugly stuff.
Yeah. Well, but again, it's not for me the issue of like some people in chat are like, well, this guy's burned out. He failed to remove Iger and he's moving on, and that may very well be 100% the story. But just for me, I'm always about timing, and I've said this on my Patreon. Nothing in Hollywood is a coincidence. So if only 2 days after a major board member resigns for no rational explanation, right? Because being a board member of Disney is a big deal. You get money, you get prestige, it's power. Why would you just walk away for spend time with your family? It doesn't make any sense, right? And so and then 2 days later, this is announced, even if it's been building for some time. It just strikes me that there's a perfect storm brewing and that there's going to be a lot of unexpected stuff happening at Disney now. We're going to get more and more surprise news articles in the days to come. That's my belief.
Okay, thank you, because that's my question.
Mhm.
The Acolyte has ended. Okay.
Yes. And I'm proud to say I never watched one episode, didn't even watch the trailer. I'm so proud.
Let's take the article off now. The Acolyte has ended, and you have the showrunner begging the fans to kind of start an upswell from the ground. A fan, cult, worshiping. Please, Lucasfilm, we want a second season. No one saw this television show.
Correct.
Everyone,
It's delusion. It's pure delusion.
this television show was panned by audience members, and eventually critics even turned on it. Cameron, what does that say when someone like this showrunner goes to the fans trying to rally, drum up some sort of pathetic support?
I mean, I've been very critical of this person, Ms. Headland, for quite some time. I've been critical of the show for a while. I was told the show would never air. It did air, and it came and went as I expected it would. Right. So this is somebody whose entire strategy for the show was to try to build up public support that never existed, because she's living in a delusional bubble of white rich woman privilege. Right. Frankly. That's why she stuffed this show with, like, she put everybody, I'll be throwing every minority I can, and people of various genders and gender identities, so that you can't cancel it, because if you try to cancel it, you'll be a racist or a transphobe or this or that. I mean, literally the whole thing was, I was like, is this a joke? Are there any white people except for like Carrie Ann Moss, which I understand was only briefly in the show, which I expected, right? So It's like, it was kind of a ridiculous strategy. It worked in the sense of internal politics of Disney to get it out, but it didn't work in the sense of the audience. The audience is like, no, the story doesn't work, and we don't really care about this cast, and so this person's been living in a bubble of delusion. They're literally living like it's 2017, right? The Last Jedi has just come out, and they're living in that world. They're not living in the world of 2024, right? And that's what happens in Hollywood. Like I said, my friends' internal politics right now, they're not aware of what's happening in the United States. I had to get political here for a second. I had been saying for several years that maybe the current president might have some issues of being a little slow. Maybe it's not all fully there, right? I've been saying that, and I was told, "Shut up, you Trumper." I was like, I don't know, don't look that good to me, right? And they all followed a narrative, and then the moment that they were given the trigger from the narrative of CNN and others, oh, he's too old, he's not there. They all flipped their narrative. It was like instantly they all went to, well, we gotta get rid of him. I was like, so Hollywood follows these bubbles, but it's not in reality. And I think Ms. Headland in particular is living in a bubble that's beyond anyone's reality. I mean, again, remember, she's very sheltered in the sense that someone who's Harvey Weinstein's assistant lived in a very privileged, powerful castle. So she's not living in a real world. She's living in a world where everyone is afraid of her because of the leverage she has over things she knows that people did. But the audience isn't affected by that leverage. So she doesn't understand. It's literally, in some ways, she's a little, in my opinion, she's a little bit like Marie Antoinette, like Let Them Eat Cake. Like, she has no grasp of where society is. Like, she literally has no idea where society is because she's in a sheltered palace, right? And so I think she sincerely believes that there's an upswell of support for this show, but that's not real.
Okay, Maria, you're coming totally with this as an outsider, right? Maybe a former Star Wars fan. What's the last Star Wars new property you saw?
Hey, I was telling him earlier, I haven't seen some of the new ones because I'm kind of like, if I'm not entertained by it, then I'm not going to watch it. I'm still stuck on the classics, and so I haven't gone any further with the ones once I've seen it. And if I'm like, I'm not really going, like, it's not really doing it for me, then I kind of don't watch it. I probably should, maybe, but I haven't seen the newer ones. I'll have to admit.
Well, no, I ask you this: is there's any lure? Is there any desire from any of these shows over the last few years that might have brought you in? And then as an outsider with this Acolyte debacle, what are your feelings on that?
Well, I think I've been shied away a lot of it because of the Star Wars, the Star Wars, wars on it. And that's been kind of off-putting.
Mhm.
And I think that's what's been kind of keeping me from it. It's not so much that I'm afraid that I'm really going to hate it. It's that I've wanted to actually sit down and actually see if it's something that, if it's that bad. So I'm not sitting there looking at going, oh, no, because of this, that, and the other. I don't do that part of it.
Mhm.
It's that by that point,
Mm-hmm.
there have been so many wars back and forth that have kind of just like, oh my gosh, it took the fun out of it for me. And so I kind of want to go back to the time where everybody enjoyed it and they just went crazy over it and they got all the toys and it was just fun.
That was 1986.
Mm.
That was 1986.
So for me, I like to go back and rewatch that time and have a good time with it and stuff. I'm the classic kind of gal where everybody really enjoyed it. I don't like all of the bickering and back and forth and kind of stuff. So for me, I kind of want to wait till it simmers down a bit and go back and see for myself kind of thing once all the wars start. I know that sounds kind of weird, but I don't like it. It just seriously took all the fun out of it for me.
So it's a wise position.
It really did.
I mean, it's a wise position. I mean, people, like I said, I've said for a long time that the people are addicted. It's like heroin. They're addicted to the anger, right? And and that's poisonous. So even if good stuff comes, they can't see it. They can't get through the anger to enjoy good stuff. Or even if it's just okay stuff, which is better than the last thing, they can't see it, right? Because they start holding it up to unreasonable standards. One of the things, because I've worked, people have said you're very like, oh, you accepted this thing in Boba Fett, whatever. I said, you know what? You know why I have? Because I've worked in TV for most of my 23-year career, and I've seen how hard it is to make a good TV show. I've seen brilliant Emmy-level scripts that are dumbed down by executives and people in the process, and one producer that doesn't get it, one moron that doesn't understand, and you have to rewrite it, and then it's filmed, and the actor won't say the line, and this doesn't, and you end up getting, 40% of what you tried or 20% of what you tried. And that 20% is better than the 5% that everyone was pushing it down to, and you made your best effort to get it up to something that is decent, right? I've done that on show after show. So when I watch like something like Book of Boba Fett, which is not a great show, but it has some good moments, I can appreciate the good moments. When I put out a review of the final episode of Book of Boba Fett, that I liked it. I didn't really like Book of Boba Fett. I thought it was a very uneven show. I thought I would have done it very differently, and I believe it was because it was haphazardly rewritten because Gino Carano was no longer on the show. They just desperately patched it together. It didn't work, but I enjoyed the finale. I thought the finale was fun. I was having fun with it. I put that on my Patreon. I lost 30 subscribers within 5 minutes. People were sending me messages saying, "You're obviously a Disney shill." I'm like, dude, this was pretty good. The rest of the show wasn't that good. This was pretty good. I enjoyed it. It made me jump up and down in some nice moments. The Rancor was running around. It was cool. Why can't you say this was okay? And people got really angry because it's all black and white. It's all black and white. I'm like, I enjoyed it. And I know that they did their best because they probably had the scripts were rewritten in the last minute because a major character was taken out. So what do? They're desperately floundering, right? And you don't give them that patience. They didn't ask for Gino Carano to be fired. They didn't ask to be removed from the show. It was just chaos they're dealing with. So they're doing their best, and I give it more patience because I've fought the battle.
I'm just kind of like one of those people. I don't take things seriously and don't, I just remember back in time, and you just like, I don't like this movie, and like, you don't like it, you just don't watch it, and it's entertainment. It's called entertainment. If you're not entertained, I didn't watch it, and that's just it for me. I'm mainly because I'm not the arguing type. I'm not the drama type. I just, I don't take things too seriously. So there's some things that people, they were like, I didn't like that. And I was like, really? I thought it was kind of funny. But so I don't know. It just kind of put a damper on my party when everybody starts arguing about stuff. So I don't know. I can't say I'd like to go back and see what it's about, but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait a little bit.
No, absolutely, Maria. Thank you for that. Let's bring up the super chat right now because we could talk about that, and then I think Mr. Cameron's got to leave us really
Yeah, I
soon.
gotta head out. I gotta take care of my mom.
Go ahead and read that for me, Fletcher.
Cameron, any possibility Sparrow could or would reach out to James O'Keefe and share information about the internal chaotic politics of Lucasfilm?
Okay, well, I responded in the chat, but I'll respond for those who didn't see it here.
Yeah, please.
No, it's not going to happen. They've already risked their job tremendously. There have been moments where they've ceased communicating with me because their pressure was too high, and they've been nearly outed a couple of times. While they're enjoying causing the whatever little chaos I, with my a few hundred Patreon subscribers and a few channels that still have me on, can spread this information. They're enjoying that. There's this, they have a life, they have a career, they've built something, and they're not going to have it thrown away to some randos, in the fandom, in the chats and whatever. And there's no disrespect to you, Jonathan. I'm just saying in general, right? There's random people like, blow it open for us, man. They're blowing it open as much as they can without, losing their livelihood. So no, that's not going to happen. And we see that with, people get really excited about Mr. O'Keefe, but let's look at every time it's like, oh, he's got this big blockbuster thing comes out. So far, nothing big has been coming out about Hollywood despite all the talk, right? It's like, oh, they're still doing DEI. I mean, what a revelation is that? I think people have mythologized Mr. O'Keefe quite a bit. Certainly with Hollywood, people ain't talking to him. They don't see any benefit to it, right? They don't see any benefit to this kind of stuff, to their lives and their careers. The fact that I've got one person who's been able to leak out enough and survive the investigations that were then instigated, right? And is still talking to me despite moments where they're like, nah, I'm done. I'll see you in 6 months, right? Despite those moments, they're still talking to me. So it's unrealistic to ask. And, any day now they can simply, I'll be honest with you. When Monday happened, the hack happened, I thought that would be the last communication I would have with Sparrow, because I don't know if any of their information came out. I don't know. I don't know what's in that hack, right?
Still don't know.
To God, nothing connects us in the material that was removed. We've got a system in place where, let's just say there's a backbone, there's ways so that people should not be able to link our communications, but I could have made a mistake somewhere. I could have screwed up somewhere. And I was nervous that maybe they're out. Maybe I don't want them to lose their job, right? So far, they're still there as far as I'm aware, right? But that's why, it's already on the edge for them. So I think they've already gone above it, and it is what it is. So
well, thank you so much, Jonathan. No, thank you for the $4.99. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the insight, Cameron. So we could keep talking. There's questions I have. I don't. Where's those sounds coming from?
Those sounds are probably my mom getting the dishes ready.
Okay,
right? Trying to get
Cameron,
take care of my mom.
Give you solo screen, and you're gonna do your exit and plug your wares, kind man, and we'll have you on very.
She's really soon. Putting those plates there. Okay, so all right. Oh my God.
She's like,
she's done. She wants to eat. She's giving me the signal. It's on purpose.
I love it.
It's very much on purpose. Right? It's not, it's very much.
Mijo.
All right. No, look, thank you very much. So yeah, just you have my Patreon right here. The link is there. Come join me there. We have a few hundred really great people that have stuck around, and we get these interesting scoops. Mostly there's a lot of commentary. There's a lot of Hollywood, just stuff that's happening, stuff that I'm seeing in the industry, perspectives you're not going to get. I challenge a lot of the groupthink that's not just in Hollywood, but the groupthink that's in the fandom, because I'm trying to give it a real perspective. So come join me there. It's worth the $5 a month. I really think it is. So please. And on that note, thank you all. Before more clacking happens with plates, I got to get out of here.
All right, my brother.
This is what a Latino mom would do. This is what a Latina mom would do.
It's the same thing. Romy does the same thing.
She's like, okay, I'm done. You told me 8:00. I'm just going to make a lot of noise until you get off.
And you know what? She'll open the door and then start making noise. I'm like,
before she starts hitting the plate. Yeah. God bless everyone.
15 minutes, she's going to have a meal ready for me, because now I'm going to take well, we'll see you later. Adios.
And I have to go do the meditation thing. There's no noise for that. Well, I guess actually, yeah.
Oh my God, that is hilarious.
Meditation bell. But...
Okay, so Maria, can you stay with us, or do you have to go as well?
I have to bail too. I got to do the meditation class thing. So.
Ooh, okay, all right. Why don't you, please promote your channel? We'd love that.
Yeah. Well, this was lots of fun. Thank you, Polly, for that. My channel is Maria with T and Telly. I always have fun. You'll see my cat running around. He's more popular than I am. And we have lots of fun on there. I do lots of fun stuff. Cameron's on there. We had a good time. But come see me. We have, I'm on there sometimes Thursdays. But anyway, I did a lot of cooking stuff, whatever. Just go over there. But thanks for having me. Had a blast. It was good to be here. Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's been too long, and we'll bring you back soon.
Yeah,
and we'll do something fun, right?
Yeah, you can come do something fun with me.
Oh,
too, as
let's
well.
do it. Yeah, you're talking about some fun subject on your channel. Let's do
something fun on my channel. It'd be great to have you there too. But I'm happy to come back here as well.
Orale. All right. Have a wonderful evening, Maria. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. I'm sorry to have to dash off too, but I postponed my classes to be on here with you, and I need to. Teacher better not be late. So.
All good. Have a good evening. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, guys. Have a great one.
Adios.
Bye. Have a good one, Maria.
Gracias. Okay, so Fletcher, we still got we have a couple things to do.
Yes.
Right. We have a big crowd still on X and on YouTube. Thank you everyone, to the members and all you guys. I'm gonna make myself a little big. We have, what do we got? We have the Twister giveaway.
Yes.
All right. So that's the thing right now. I want to give this. We have this beautiful T-shirt and the hat. Have you figured out how we're going to give this away?
Well, I think we should open it first to the members. So I think maybe the T-shirt can go to the members. Okay. We do have our member streams coming up too. Okay. But basically, if you send an email.
Well, why don't we just do a question right now to the members? All right. To win this T-shirt really fast, you got to be a member of the channel, and we have a lot of them here right now. Type right now the 3 lead actors in the film Twisters. Twisters, the new one. Type right now the 3 leading actors, and you will win this. First person to get it right, the 3 main actors will win this T-shirt. And on the back it says Twisters. Let's do it. Again, you got to be a member. I see a lot of members. Julissa, Dan Crane. Who else?
We got Sanders here. We got let's see.
All right. So that's going on at this time. Oh, it's Courtney's here.
Yeah, Courtney was here.
All right. So let's put. Should we put a banner up?
Let's see.
Name the 3 actors in Twisters. To win now. It's just the T-shirt, right?
Yeah. We'll do the T-shirt.
Okay. Name the 3 actors in Twisters to win right now. Name the 3 actors from Twisters to win right now. Darth Plato's here. It's Courtney, Sander, Julissa, Dan Crane. I want you guys to give it a shot right now.
Yeah.
Okay, Twisters, guys, not Twister, not the old film, the new film. That's 2. We got 2 of the 3. Who's the 3rd? We need a 3rd one. It's Courtney. Come on, girl, for all the marbles. Hey, Twisters now. We need one more from you. It's Courtney. One more, and you get it. Hey!
Whoa. Do.
It's Courtney wins. It's Courtney wins. It's Courtney wins. It's Courtney wins. All right. All right. So are we saving the hat? We're gonna do this some other time, or are we gonna do this right now? What do you say?
I say we save it right now.
Save the hat.
We'll have a couple more things to get to, and you're TikToking away, because don't forget, guys, Paulie's going to be later on with the Brandon Maxwell pretty soon.
Okay, so what's going on is we're going to end in about 10 minutes. I'm going to take a 5-10 minute break. Then I'm jumping on a political conversation with Brandon Lauren Maxwell, Daily Cella. We will be multicasting here. So just stay on the channel, and that's going to be a great conversation. Okay. Right now, though, let's get to Deadpool and Wolverine. For all the coverage that we have, go to thelatinoslant.com. Rosa's got her initial reactions. I got mine. They're up right now. It's so much fun. We're having a blast, Fletcher, with this stuff. And oh, did you put this up? What is this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just thumbnail.
Oh, I love it. So cool, man. Oh, let me take that off. So what we're going to do right now is we're doing the Deadpool and Wolverine major one spoiler review, or are we?
Well, actually, that's the thing. I don't know if you guys voted on the poll on the chat, but
we're ending it right now.
What was winning right now is basically no spoiler.
So how does that work? We had a lot of votes, and we have what would you like spoiled in Deadpool? Okay. Cameo was a choice. Does it have heart? Another choice. End credit major scene, and no spoilers. No spoilers won. No spoilers won. So what does that mean? I do a major no spoiler review right now.
A major no spoiler review. Okay.
All right.
Well, so I guess the
but I didn't already do that. Didn't I do that in my reaction video?
I think you did, yeah. So
I mean,
I guess we're looking at
how does that, or do I just ignore the fact that 44% won, and I just go for the second place cameo?
That
they don't want it spoiled. Let them be surprised. All right. All right.
So what could be a non-spoiler that you can give us that you didn't give us in your review? In other words, something that could be considered maybe not a spoiler, or something that we don't know.
Okay. All right. Okay. So let give me a second here, because I was totally ready to give a spoiler.
See?
We need to change the banner here. let me retype the major non-spoiler. You guys are funny, chat. You guys are funny, but hey, you guys won. All right, let me make myself big. Or whoa. Let's take this off, and I'll make myself big. Major non-spoiler, quick review on Deadpool and Wolverine. You can catch our other reactions that are coming out of the theater reactions, because the embargo now has been lifted. So I wanted to give a little bit more juice, or a little more, give you guys some more. What I will do is, when Rosa Parra's review comes out in a few days, we're going to do a video on that and read all that. So we're looking forward to it. But I will not spoil anything right now. A major non-spoiler that I can give you is, I can honestly say this is the best Deadpool of the three movies. How about that?
Nice.
I can honestly also say that it is the humor. There's so much humor in it that I'm going to go back and see it again tomorrow, that I missed a lot. So, so like me and Rosa were texting. She's like, this was my favorite line. I'm like, dude, I missed that. I was laughing.
Right.
So there's a lot of that, because there's a lot of quick follow-ups to jokes, right? It's, and I think this is a really good non-spoiler. As a fan of Marvel, a fan of comic books, a fan of superheroes, it really pays service to us without being empty member berries, if that makes sense.
Right.
How
that
was
makes
that?
sense.
That's great,
because a lot of people were worried, is it just going to be a member berry fest?
Yeah.
or is it going to have like any depth to what's going to happen? And I think you're answering that question right now.
And let me just say one last thing. I have to say, and I know Rosa has a thing for Logan. Logan was good. I have to say, I think Hugh Jackman was just incredible. The chemistry we know between those two guys is amazing, but he was just, I think he was perfect, man. And he played different iterations of himself. But I will say, and boy, man, boy, was he yoked again for this. And
Wow.
there's a funny moment with that as well. So many great moments. Okay, I think I did pretty good. What do you think?
You did.
Guys?
And by the way, for those listening to the podcast, Polly did a chef's kiss. So
Chef's
Cool.
kiss. That's right, because this will be on the podcast. And long live Marvel Jesus. Rosa Parra is saying, I'm going to read some of these here.
All right.
Bonso, sorry, got to mute. Not taking any chances. I didn't do it.
do it. Do
You
it.
could give away how long the film is, Polly.
Mm.
It is long, and they make fun of that in the film.
Oh, okay.
So that, but you know, it's so juicy, man. It's so juicy.
So juicy. Nice.
Was Patrick Stewart in the movie? I can't say.
That's a spoiler.
It's a spoiler. It's a
Did you see
spoiler.
the vote start?
Okay, I think it's Tuesday. I think I might drop one major spoiler tomorrow morning. I think I'm going to do that as a short.
All right.
I got to tell you guys, and it has to do with the cameos. You will not be disappointed. I don't want to like hype it up too much. Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, they're the center of this film. It's not about cameos, and yet you're just gobsmacked. Okay, how did I do?
You did great.
Okay, good. All right, what's left?
All right. Right now we have the baby reindeer. If you have time, or
Oh no.
No?
That's a whole different conversation. So what I'm thinking, I'll either do that as a video. The baby reindeer actress, I want to give her just due. It's pretty controversial, and Brandon's already going to start because I do want to get a couple minutes and grab a bite.
Okay.
What else, brother?
All right. So what we got left basically is to let everybody know that your book is still on sale and the latinoslant.com.
Yeah, latinoslant.com. Books on sale. Also, we're going to have more Deadpool and Wolverine coverage all week long. Thank you to all the new subscribers and all the new people that have been checking out our videos on the Deadpool coverage. It's one of the best videos that we've had in a long time as far as views and new people. Thank you guys so much. What we're going to do right now, we're going to take a quick little break, and I will be back live on this channel with Brandon Lauren Maxwell in like 10 minutes. I do got to take a quick little break. ¿Qué más, Fletcher? What else?
Just let everybody know to stay tuned. You don't have to change over. The stream is just going to continue here.
That's right. All right, everyone. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to the mods, to the subscribers, to the members. I'll be back in about 10 minutes, and we'll start up a great political conversation. Wherever you're at, keep your slant fuerte. Say good night, Fletcher.
Good night, Fletcher.